tell the people who we have here.
Prince isn't Prince.
All right, so what type of artist would you consider yourself?
Yeah, I guess artist, like musician, really. Musician, I would say.
So we know that you're a musician. Are you inclined in any other areas?
I would say so, yeah. I started playing guitar when I was like 7. I kind of taught myself. I took lessons, but I was like, these teachers are kind of trash, so I decided to teach myself. And then I played for a couple bands for this performing arts school. Just growing in my craft, making music, playing music, performance. So I was a lead guitarist for a band, and then I got into producing. I got into music
Nice.
writing, and so those are kind of my main skills, I would say.
So who were some of your influences when you first were getting into music?
I didn't really look up to many celebrities. I would say that it was really my uncle because he would play a lot of different types of music around me, different genres, multiple different types of artists with different sounds and different styles. And so he had a guitar and he wasn't really proficient, but he would mess around. And, you know, I kind of got interested in playing it from a young age. And then I started playing Guitar Hero. I was like, you know, let me actually pick up a real instrument.
When was that moment that you knew that you wanted to get into music?
I don't know. It's always been a passion of mine. It really has always been a passion of mine from a young age, but I think I kind of started taking it seriously, um, and started spending more time with music when I kind of joined that band and, kind of had to dedicate myself and actually practice and put in time, put in work, because this is how I was making money. So I would say at around like late high school ish, because that's when I started picking up producing too. Started working with other people as like I guess, an independent artist slash producer, whatever.
When did it click that you had something special?
A young age when people say, "Oh, you're good, keep
Hmm.
going," and then I'll keep going and keep leveling up, and at every level, people are saying, "Keep going, keep going." Whole time in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm so trash. I'm so far from being great, but that's kind of what um keeps me motivated. I would say keeps me kind of willing to learn and willing to continue to build on my process and create. So that kind of drives me. I would say people think my shit is amazing, but I think it's decent.
Was lack of support an issue for you when you first started off?
I would say in terms of music, I always had a support. My family always knew I was into music and they would always bring me to practice. They would always bring me to my gigs, show up when they could. Um, to the people that I work closely with, like close friends of mine, they're always supportive. They're always willing to listen and give feedback. And I work with some talented people, so it's there's always support. There's always love.
All right, so talk about your first experience recording inside the studio.
A real studio. The first time I was actually in a real official studio was when I was in that performing arts school band. I had to be like 13, 14 maybe. And there's one of my mentors from that band who he's like a Grammy Award winning producer. So he has like a whole crazy setup. And we were just recording stuff. I don't even remember what it was for. Probably like some sort of just demo tape or whatever, but it was like as a collaborative, like as a band. So it wasn't like my own solo stuff, but that was my first time actually being in a studio and I was really young and I'm looking at all this hardware that I don't know what it does or what it's called, and it's pretty crazy. Um but as like an actual artist myself, recording myself, that just was me in my room, me in my car, recording stuff with my equipment. Nothing crazy there.
All right, so you talked about very, very humble moments when you were recording inside your car. Was this a motivation for you to see the bigger picture?
I guess so. I guess so. Because honestly, I just did it because I have a really loud household with a lot of people in it. So it's kind of hard for me to actually like record stuff without hearing some sort of background noise. Um, like and especially if I'm recording like around the summertime and the springtime, it gets so hot and my room is like pretty small. So it's just like I can't really have the AC on. There's people yelling. There's people on the street yelling. There's cars and Honda Civics revving, and there's reggaeton playing outside, and it gets super hard to record. So I've tried it all. I've tried my room. I've tried my basement. I've tried my garage. I've tried my car, and it gets super hard to actually like get clean, clear recordings. So most of my equipment is at one of my partner's cribs, and he has a easier space to record in. He has a way easier space to record in. So but it does, to go back to that point, it does motivate me, I would say, because these are just humble beginnings, right? I'm kind of blessed to have equipment, right? To have people that support me. I'm blessed to be able to do this without any type of interruption in terms of like me not being able to do something. I can do it if I want to. So, um, yeah, I would say it is definitely motivating because one day I will not have to deal with any of that stuff for sure.
All right, so you have several different talents. What was your biggest learning curve you've experienced along the way?
Biggest, man, I guess biggest obstacle is just timing and just allocating, finding like time to actually commit to music. Um, High school was really busy, uh, very, very busy, schedule wise and, homework wise. So, in terms of like me being in that band and going to practice, like sometimes I'll show up and really not know what I'm playing. And the mentors are like, this is for us to practice, not learn, and get pissed. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but, my school is just a lot. Producing wise, I would say like there's certain things that I'm not sure how to do, but then I also have like people that can show me what to do, and also the internet is a free thing, so I don't really think there's like too much of a struggle because if I want to like create a certain sound or learn how to do a certain thing, I can do it. Um, I think it just comes down to schedule. That's just the biggest thing.
Given that you have a lot of priorities and a lot to balance, were there ever a time that you wanted to give up as an artist?
Um, I don't know if giving up, but I would say like I've been on like different periods of hiatuses just because whether it be school, whether it be like something going on with myself personally where I wasn't really in a zone to properly make music. Those are some kind of time periods that got in the way of me making music. Um, Trying to find the right consistency is definitely something that kind of hinders my process sometimes. But um, yeah, I would say that's kind of just really the biggest thing. Again, um, yeah, for sure.
What's some advice that you have for people that are concerned about the lack of resources and equipment that want to get into music?
Honestly, just dedicating your time to it. Um, being accept be like being able to accept feedback, whether it be good or bad. Because at the end of the day, you can create a track and you can think, "Wow, this is fire," but are you gonna listen to it, or other people gonna listen to it? Because if you can just sit around and listen to your own track all day, great.
That's
Sit
real.
around and listen to your own track all day, but nobody else is gonna listen to it. Um, I would say like meeting people and having connections is a really big important thing, right? Because like the music industry is a super difficult and weird thing to try to get into. So that definitely helps. And just not being afraid. Like if you have an idea, write it down, put it out there. Um, Feel me? Like something that I do a lot is I try to be a super perfectionist, but
At the end of the day, it's kind of like if I just keep trying to be a perfectionist on a track or on a beat or something, whatever, I'm never gonna put it out because I'm just gonna keep working on it and keep working on it. And I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. But when you do make mistakes, learn from it. Learn from it. Listen to what you're doing and develop a sound. Um, Try to be creative. Try to find a good sound that fits you, that suits your person and how you look and how you act and how you behave. Um, because there's a lot of people that sell a fake persona, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's cringy, sometimes it's not. Um, that's kind of my advice, honestly.
Coming from a small city like Bridgeport, do you feel like the support is available for other people that also want to get into music?
hmm I'm from Connecticut. We're not really like the biggest state in the music game, right? But um, honestly, I feel like I have pretty supportive people, but it just comes down to like people that I know or people that, know me in some sort of way or I've talked to in some sort of way. Or even just it could also just be random ass people. But if you really have good music, people are gonna listen to it, right? Like, yeah, like I get the argument that okay, like I'm from this certain city and when I put something out, nobody in this city is listening to my stuff. If you're not like really gonna if you're not at a certain level for some reason, people don't want to hear it. Um, but honestly, fuck, like that doesn't really matter. I would say if you're someone who makes music and you're someone who's interested in pursuing music as a career, as a passion, whatever the case may be, just do it, you know, because some of your supporters are not even going to be the people that are around you. A lot of people that listen to my music, I have never even met in my life. And I get people that message me like, hey, where's your music? Like, what's going on with that? When are you putting something out? And I'm just like, well, I'm doing me right now, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from. Just do it.
So I really love that.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, like it screw wherever you're at, bro. Like if you are damn in the hood, the hoodest of hoods, and every day you walk outside and all you hear is trap and drill, and you are someone who wants to make jazz music, you're someone who wants to make R&B, you're somebody who makes pop music, right? That's your niche. That's something that you like. That is your zone and your focus. Do that. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be people within that environment that are going to listen to it. And, whether that be your main target audience or not, where you're from, like the general population, if you're making that type of music and that's not what you're hearing outside, chances are that might not be your target audience, but that shouldn't stop you. That should not stop you. There are rappers that are from the weirdest states that people don't even live in, and they are making heat that's out in the
Facts.
media.
Facts.
So, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't hold you back. I don't believe in the argument.
So where can the people find you and your music?
Um, Social media wise, Instagram at IsntPrince. Right now, in terms of music, SoundCloud, IsntPrince. It's pretty much it. That's where you can find me.
Nice, nice. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're at the 212 company. Can you tell the people who we're speaking with?
Peace. I'm Marsh. I am a visual artist, and I create Martian vibes. So whether that's tattooing, painting, custom clothing, anything like that, I do it.
In your Instagram bio, you have the artist sees what others only catch a glimpse of, and here's my view. Can you tell me what that means to you?
Even like I kind of feel like I gravitated toward that when I did a little bit of photography. I played with some photography, and I found out that this city that I lived in forever had really beautiful things for me to see, but I only saw it once I put myself in an artist's point of view. When I was viewing the world, or when I view things just as a regular person going through life versus me being an artist, is different. When I look at the sky, I see shapes. When I see buildings, I see shapes. That's how I draw. That's how things are given to me. When I look at people, I see interesting things about you, and it makes me want to draw you because of what I see. The features on you are interesting to me. So I capture basically what my eyes view, but also what I think is interesting for other people.